Greetings YouTube. Today we're going to review the Cabela's XPG tie folding knife. It comes in a blister pack. Get that out of the way. And here you go. This is a liner lock, all steel construction. The downside to this, it is incredibly heavy. This is not light in the least. Though having the holes in the handle slabs, you know, the scales was a nice touch, both visually and because it reduces the weight a little, but this thing is definitely a heavyweight. You got dual thumb studs, single position pocket clip, only offering you right-handed tip down, and I think that's a problem. But because of the shape of this, I think it would have been difficult for them to move it to tip up. But I don't think they could have made it right-handed or left-handed, in my opinion, and they chose not to. I'm not really sure why. Pillar construction, and the pillars are hourglass shaped, which I think is nice. And there is a straight pillar here which acts as a blade stop. So, got a pretty decent opening on it. Again, this is all hollow in here, so that helps. It has the ergonomics are pretty decent. There's no jimping on, no major jimping. I mean, you got 3 lines there, so 4 lines. Yeah, not what I call useful at all. But it's got some pretty decent ergonomics. It came out of the box, or the package I should say, with a reasonable edge. It's not shaving sharp, but it's not far off. It is a liner lock with a ball bearing detent on there. I think you can see that. No jimping on there at all, which is something that many people appreciate. I've come to appreciate it as well. I think that sometimes a lot of the jimping available on knives today is too aggressive. But again, not a bad action at all. It's a little bit larger than I like. It comes a little bit longer. Not too bad. Just a smidge longer. But it was a really nice price. I think I paid like, I don't know, $12 for this or something like that at 12 or 14 bucks at Cabela's when I was up there in Scarborough, Maine. It does fit in your pocket well. The pocket clip is got some nice retention. The major downside with this is the weight, but it is a nice shape. It's a nice recurve shape in there. It has a very that nod to a Persian design, which I appreciate. And the overall lines are pretty good. It's just that if they had used aluminum instead of steel, we would have been a whole lot better off. This would have been a much lighter blade, and you really wouldn't have lost a lot of strength. Because you're not putting this thing through huge paces here. I think that what you would have gained in weight savings would have well been worth your time. It has a swedge. The overall fit, finish, polish, and all that is pretty decent. No major burrs. Everything's nicely rounded. There's a nice little chamfer here around the handle, which is a nice touch. Uses star screws to hold the whole thing together. The center pivot is fully adjustable. The blade is not what you called centered. But again, for the price, I could probably monkey with it if I wanted to, but I'm probably not going to. Now, the downside is that these thumb studs really stick out. They really do. Now, this is kind of a flipper, but you can actually open the blade that way. So it does act as a bit of a finger guard, so that's all right. So I think if I were to bring these down, it's like they take a grinder to them or something and bring those so that they were level with the scales, that would be a major improvement. And if you're doing this type of an opening, the fact that the thumb studs would be shorter, really wouldn't have a major impact because I'm getting right in down there where it meets the blade. So I still think I could open that. I did not try to do that with the left-hand side because I'm not really that. The angle's a little different because of that the liner lock, and I'm also not left-handed. You can't quite get that angle right. And also this throws the angle of my thumb off as well. So not really, I don't know, maybe a left-handed person could open it, but I am not a left-handed person. So overall, the XPG isn't a bad design. If you ever find yourself in Cabela's, you might want to pick one up, and if you don't mind a heavy knife, an all-steel knife, this might be a model you might like.